quick data point on Europe, that, and we've seen this across countries, but pretty big rate of change improvement. Belgium industrial production from negative 12.7 to negative 3.2. And again, not a huge part of the EU, but we've kind of seen this in every country in Europe, just the rate of change improvement. So another validation there.
Off of very, when you do these I get sharper, a lot sharper. After I do two, never mind, back to back, I said to Emma Pickles, I said, I feel like I'm playing a doubleheader in hockey. Like in baseball, you play doubleheaders, but for me doing 4 in a row, like after 2, I get a little mentally exhausted, because think of it like you're sitting in a room, in particular because these are Zoom calls, and somebody shoots at you with this question over there, you knock down the pins, answer it, and then you get this one from over there, which is a totally different topic, and you got to knock that down. So I love it. It's just like playing hockey, and you're either ready for it or you're not. Right? You can either handle the pass or you can't. You can either make a pass or you can't. And I'm lucky because I have this other guy on my line called Josh Steiner, whereas if I get the pass and I don't know what to do it, I just give it to Steiner, and he almost 100% of the time puts it in the back of the net. So that kind of thing makes you sharper, because you hear, and there's a central tendency of clients to ask you about the same thing, because the old Walls talking points all came at them. So Morgan Stanley made this call on inflation going back to 2. And like I said this morning, my reaction, which I don't do on institutional client calls because it would be inappropriate, but totally appropriate for now and for you, and many of you institutional clients are watching this. I just go, like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't give two, or I don't give two shits. I don't care. I don't give a rat's ass about what somebody at Morgan Stanley says about inflation. Who cares? It's hard enough to run our own team and model. Why? Let's go with the answer that we already have. Some narrative's not going to change it. But one of the big topics away from that, of course, which is all American investors want to talk about pretty much, and potentially the breakdown in jobs. I keep bringing investors back to Europe, and what's your exposure to Europe? And what I find is that it's pretty low, relatively speaking, to where it could be. If you go to slide 153, this is a slide that Steiner and I spent a lot of time on, which really fits with, there's a point to this, with what Jonesy called out. Now, again, if you don't know what a recession looks like from an economic cycle peak, I'm going to show it to you. Again, this is European consumer confidence with every single major European country, and retail as a proxy for consumption. All these countries. You see this date right here? The peak was what? The global economic cycle peak was in what? Q4 of 2022. Now, the numbers are, and some of you are, I've had that feedback, I appreciate it, are colorblind, I get it. I'm not making fun of it. I'm telling you that this is green, and then this starts to go red in March of 2022. That means the rate of change is slowing. Now, it could be lime green here, which it is, as opposed to dark green. That means that it already peaked when it's bright green to lime green. And then look at this. People are like, I can't see the recession. I mean, what are you, fucking idiot? I mean, this is like you're at least a macro idiot. I mean, this is a big part of the world, right? Now, if you're just again, I would say that if you wake up every day thinking that whatever neighborhood you are in America is the world, that would make you qualify you as an idiot, right? I mean, so I don't want idiots in our community. I want you to see all of this. This whole frickin' thing is red, okay? In the aggregate, that's the summary of what happened in Europe. To Jonesy's point, like again, this bottom in this number, see how these numbers are less red and you start to see some green. Look at the first place that went green was Poland, of all places. Who knew, right? Remember we were short Poland and the signal said get out? Well, that's because the data was also accelerating. Now, from here, Jonesy, the data you're talking about, which isn't on the screen, you're going to see what we call green hues. So I think again and again and again. Now, you couldn't go back and do it all over again. You can't go back to going from short Europe to long Europe in the fourth quarter like we did. But next time, and I hope you're with me for the entirety of this cycle and the next one, you're going to understand, this is Hedgeye 2.0, it started in July of last year, why you subscribe to the process. It is way easier to stay with this than to stay with anything else, if only you know the difference between green and red, and or that I told you the difference between green and red. Hey there, Hedgeye Nation, or if you're not part of Hedgeye Nation, thanks for watching Hedgeye on YouTube. If you haven't already, make sure to click on the button below there. Subscribe to our YouTube page. You can also follow the link in the description to our website to get even more
great investing content.